Business owners, CEOs, and other members of the executive management team, as well as managers and sometimes even employees, are facing challenges choosing the right style for the messages they are crafting. Hello, my name is Jorma, and I am the founder and managing director of Business Made Agile Company Limited. And in this video, I will explain to you how to select the style or styles for the business messages. Crafting a business message requires a strategic understanding of its core components: structure, style, and stickiness. This presentation is focused on the 6 styles of business messages. Forceful style. This style is confident, assertive, and direct. It uses strong verbs and clear, unambiguous language. While effective for decisive communication, it can sometimes be perceived as aggressive if not balanced with a positive tone. As an opposite to forceful style, passive style uses the passive voice, which can make the message seem indirect and lacking in energy. It can obscure responsibility and weaken the impact of the message. On the secondary level, personal style uses a warm conversational tone. It often employs you and I, asks questions, and seeks to build a connection with the reader. It is genuine and approachable. And as an opposite to personal style, we have, of course, impersonal style. This style is objective and formal, avoiding personal pronouns and emotional language. It is often used in academic or official reports. And finally, on the third level, we have colorful style. This style uses vivid language, imagery, and evocative descriptions to paint a picture and engage the reader's emotions. It aims to make the message more memorable and engaging. And of course, as an opposite to colorful, we have colorless style. And this is a more extreme version of the impersonal style, characterized by dry technical language and a complete lack of engaging elements. It's purely functional and often fails to capture the reader's interest. So, how do you apply the styles to the 9 types of messages? Let's start with the positive and non-sensitive messages on the left. So, positive messages use forceful and personal style with a touch of colorful style, but only if appropriate, for both downwards and upwards communications. Positive persuasive messages like sales messages use forceful and personal style with a touch of colorful style, but only if appropriate, for both downwards and upwards communications. Non-sensitive messages also use forceful and personal style, however, combined with colorless style for both downwards and upwards communication. Next in line, downwards communication. Negative messages use somewhat forceful and impersonal style combined with colorless style for downwards communication. Internal negative persuasive messages also use somewhat forceful and impersonal style combined with colorless style for downwards communication. And next we focus on upwards communications. Internal negative messages use passive and impersonal style combined with colorless style for upwards communication. And the same applies to internal negative persuasive messages, external negative messages, and external negative persuasive messages, which use passive and impersonal style combined with colorless style for upwards communication. So as a conclusion, we start with the primary styles, forceful style and passive style. So forceful style works as the primary style for positive, persuasive and non-sensitive messages, as well as for negative and internal negative persuasive messages to somewhat degree. On the other hand, passive style works as the primary style for internal negative and internal negative persuasive messages, as well as for external negative and external negative persuasive messages. On the secondary level, the personal style works as the secondary style for positive, persuasive, and non-sensitive messages. However, the impersonal style works as the secondary style for negative, internal negative, and internal negative persuasive messages, as well as for external negative and external negative persuasive messages. And finally, on the third level or tertiary level, colorful style works as the tertiary style for positive and positive persuasive messages, but only if appropriate under the circumstances. Here you should consider cultural differences in communications. Then colorless style works as the tertiary style for non-sensitive, negative, and internal negative persuasive messages, as well as for external negative and external negative persuasive messages. My name is Jorma, and I've studied engineering at the Helsinki University of Technology and business administration and communications at the Aalto University of Helsinki in Finland. I graduated in 2014 and have an executive MBA degree. I've been communicating as the chairman of the board, CEO, CMO, program and project manager, and business unit manager, as well as an employee for the past 30 years. I've been crafting all kinds of business messages during my career before artificial intelligence came into picture. And during the past 2 years, I've learned how to use AI for creating business messages. Thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video.